to South First. I am Chaitana Belgare. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that's been the buzz of health and wellness circles in years, considered as single most remedy for diabetes, obesity, and other metabolic disorders, the low-carb diet. We have all heard the stories, people shedding pounds, energy, increased energy, and even improving certain health markers. But what does going low-carb really mean? Is it just about ditching that biryani, rice, bread, and pasta, or is there more to the story? To speak on this and about the most exciting India's first low carb conference, we have with us low carb nutritionists and metabolic health experts Anoop Singh and Shashikant Iyengar. Both very popular on X, earlier known as Twitter platform, internationally and nationally too. Interestingly, both of them became practitioners of low carb after they tried this on themselves. So let's hear more from them on their journey and as well as about the conference and much more. Hello, sir. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chetna.
Sir, let's go with introduction of both of you. I think we should start with Anoop Singh. So could you please introduce yourself to the viewers, please?
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, Chetna. And as far as my introduction is concerned, by education, I'm an engineer and graduated from IIT Roorkee. And I was detected diabetic in February 2011. Now, the only solution, as you said, people are confused about what is low carb, do we ditch biryani, rice, or anything. So we came up with a very simple solution, and that is limit your carbohydrate to 100 grams per day. Now, within that framework, if you want to have, a fistful of biryani or even anything that fits into that 100-gram limit per day, that is the global per day limit. And the next thing which comes is the per meal tolerance. Now, let's say this 100 grams is divided into 3 meals of 30, 35, 30, or is it 50, 50? If you can tolerate 50 without spiking blood sugar.
Okay.
So from 2011 till date, that is around, I'll be completing around 13 years on Feb 14th. I'm pill-free with non-diabetic A1C. And during the course of the journey, I've lost around 12 kg weight. And people say that, it is non-sustainable. For 13 years, me and, Shashi, when he talks about it, he'll tell his journey. So we have been, holding on to it, and the weight loss also, plus all the metabolic markers.
Mr. Shashi, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you again, Chetna. So I'm currently work as a metabolic health practitioner, and I do virtual consultations, especially in the sphere of diabetes, hypertension remission, early kidney disease, neurological and psychiatric disorders. My journey started somewhere in 2015. Before that, let me tell you that my background, I have 35 years in pharma selling experience, primarily in cardiovascular and diabetes plus neuropsychiatry and women's health segment. So I was in big MNC like Abbott for 30 years and Pfizer for 1.5 years. So my story began in 2015 September, and when I got diagnosed with diabetes.
Oh.
And I searched online for a solution. As usual, I went to my doctor. I got metformin and a low fat, low salt diet. I was not satisfied. I went online, and I was lucky enough to find Anoop Singh and dlife.in, where they were advocating low carb diet. I was very curious what it is, and my scientific curiosity got better. And I did a lot of research, and I found that this was the diet that was used before the discovery of insulin and sulfonylurea class of drugs for treating diabetes. So after doing much research, I joined D-Life. I reversed my HbA1c from 7.2 to 5.2 in the 4th month itself. And then on, I've been maintaining an average HbA1c of 5 mostly in this 8 years, 4.7, 4.95. Max is 5.3 just 2 times. Otherwise, 5 is my usual number. And during this course of journey, I've been helping my very close family and friends to reverse diabetes, get off insulin. And somewhere in 2020, when D-Life launched Diploma in Low Carb Nutrition course, I immediately enrolled and I got it done. Subsequently, I did a few courses from Nutrition Network South Africa, Advanced Ketogenic Nutrition from American Nutrition Association. Subsequently, I got accreditation from Society of Metabolic Health Practitioner USA. So I'm the first accredited metabolic health practitioner in India. The second being, there's one Dr. Roshni Sangani from Mumbai. So we are the only 2 guys. And after all this, I thought I will quit my job and I'll do full-time as a metabolic health coach. And here I am. So that is my story.
Excellent. I think we have two living examples of those who have kind of remission, diabetes remission with, this is almost like revision, should say, or remission, I should say. There's a lot of controversy in that, but I'm seeing that low carb is helping you guys. So we'll know more about it. So first, if Shashi, if you could answer to me on this, for those who are not aware, I think Anoop did explain a little on what exactly is low carb diet. But if you could just briefly tell us, and also a lot of questions which came to me is Atkins, keto, all of these, do they come under the same umbrella, or how different is low carb diet actually? What exactly is it, and how different is it from the other diets?
See, when it comes to ketogenic diet, there is classical ketogenic diet where the fat percentage could be very high. It could be 80 or 90% also. Very lower protein and ultra low carb. Especially its application lies in epilepsy and as well some neurological condition. But later on, there are a lot of modifications that have been done, like modified Atkins diets or something, where the protein consumption has been increased. In fact, if you visit Charlie Foundation, you will find a very solid clarity on this, where they have added, let us say, supplementing coconut oil or MCT oil. Thereby, this allows little more carbohydrates and little more protein. So the commonly used term, what we use is low carb or keto. It has become very synonymous with each other. But if you see, these need not be very high in fat, like 70, 80, 90%. Maybe on an average, maybe 60, 65% is what we look forward. Carbohydrate can range from, let us say, 30 grams, which is ketogenic, 200 grams, which is low carb. So low carb and ketogenic, there's a difference. Ketogenic, 30 grams carb, and low carb can be as much as 100 grams, and maybe slightly extend also if someone is metabolically healthy. So in our context, we want to make one thing clarify, that when it comes to low carb, people focus only on carbohydrate and fat, but we don't give importance to a biggest macro, and that is protein. So we say that, it is adequate protein, adequate fat, and low carb. Now low carb can be 30 to 100. So this is how I look at it. I think Anoop Singh can give a better clarity also on this.
Yeah, Mr. Anoop, do you want to explain? See, we Indians are basically carb eaters, right? I mean, we every day our rice, roti, all that is a lot of carbs, and we know that carbs have added to a lot of has been the reason for a lot of metabolic disorders as well. But given this kind of background of being the carb eaters, so how practical is it for Indians to go for low carb?
Yeah, low carb, this 100-gram limit, we go by the liver's glycogen holding capacity. Okay, it's like a fuel tank in your car. Now, if it is 45 liters capacity, you cannot fill it with 200 liters. Likewise, liver's glycogen holding capacity is 120 G. Now, keeping around 20% counting errors here and there, we fixed it to 100 grams per day as the day's limit. Now, whether you split it into 2 meals or 3, it would depend on your per meal carb tolerance. I'm talking about diabetics.
Okay.
Now, if you compare with Western, concept of low carb. Now, Western, it is low carb and ketogenic are used interchangeably. Now, it is very easy to shift transition to low carb / keto, because the animal protein consumption per capita is around 120 kg. Now, if you look at Indian subcontinent, it would be around 5 kg. So now copying that diet as is on Indian population is virtually non-workable, and that is why many, before we came into the scene in 2014, many consultants have tried and failed, because either they limit their audience to only non-vegetarians, whereas Indians are primarily vegetarians, even non-vegetarians, they take twice a week at the most, meat. Now, as far as difference, another way of defining it is that in our case, low carb and keto are two separate domains. Keto is a subset of low carb. In low carb, we are focusing on macros primarily, in the sense that 20% max is the carbohydrate, 20% is the, you can say, the target for protein, balance is fat. In ketogenic diet, you are aiming for nutritional ketosis. Now, that means primarily your body is running on ketones, fat, and which happens only when you restrict it down to 30 grams carb. Now, that might be very difficult for a majority of, the population. So within 100 grams, as you asked, whether how easy it is or how, sustainable it is. I mean, Shashi is over vegetarian. I am primarily a vegetarian, except for last, 2 or 3 months. We've been sustaining for 8 and 13 years. So it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. And to make it easy, we have transition program. You don't switch overnight all 3 meals. You change one meal at a time, give it 1 week, 10 days time for body to adjust. And finally, then what we say is, once you see your reports, good reports, you can never unsee them until or unless you are having food for entertainment.
Okay. So
Right.
now,
So
see,
food,
there is a lot of, where people, whenever you talk about any diet, there are multiple ones which have come into the market. There are lots online. Instagram has like severals of them. But then, is there any, first, before we delve more into this, is there any red signs or flags which we need to consider? Like who can do this diet, who can't do this diet? Is there anything of that kind? If both of you can, Shashi, starting from you, if you could touch upon, is there
See,
anything of that sort?
see, this can be done. See, we are not going into the to the realms of classical ketogenic diet, where generally it is applied to children. But then there might be some genetic abnormalities in them where they cannot metabolize fat properly. There could be some odd deficiency, metabolism deficiency. Except those population, everyone can do this. Actually, this is not something it is just lowering down carbohydrate. It is not going off carb. It is just lowering carbohydrate and increasing protein foods. That is all. And
Okay.
that is how, as hunter gatherers, we have been sustaining on this diet itself. What
Okay.
we do is we just advocate real food. People go and have biscuits. We tell them don't have biscuits. You can have
Okay.
something else. You can have some nuts or something instead of biscuits. People want to have samosa, kachori, all those deep fried one. We say you don't take them. You take something, some real food or something, more protein based food. And in your meal, people take excess roti and rice. We are just telling you cut it down. We are not telling zero. We are taking cut it down and increase protein foods. Okay, if the severity of blood sugar is very high, like diabetes, are very high, then we'll ask them to cut down and take mostly, let us say, a lot of protein foods. With protein comes added fat, and then we'll tell them take a lot of non-starchy vegetables, nuts and seeds. So that's how we do. So it is nothing but we advocate natural food. It is not something which is out of the universe.
So, so everybody almost can follow this diet. And
Everyone.
as a small example, if you are not eating food for entertainment, 100 grams of nuts is 600 kilocalories, and it gets you only 18 grams carb.
okay.
Now, if you compare that with chapati, one chapati is 40 grams on an average, 20 grams carb. Now, to get that 600 kilocalorie, how many chapatis you have to eat, you can calculate. So as Shashi said, we do not say that you stop it completely. Like, for example, when I started, I reduced to one chapati per day.
Okay.
Okay. Rice, if you are taking, this is the measure. Uncooked rice, one fistful, make it into fried rice, bulk it up, eat it. Hung curd. I mean, there are lot many options, and especially in South, coconut should become part of every meal. If you are hungry, you can even take your dry, wet, whatever form of coconut it is with your coffee as a snack, Ultimately, what you are trying to attain is energy through food. Don't look for taste or entertainment while you eat. Within a month or two, if you can sustain, believe me, it is very easy to sustain for lifelong.
So, as basic as, suppose you take a South Indian diet, a South Indian diet where you have your breakfast, then you have your lunch, and then you have your dinner, or in between, maybe a snack as such in the evening. So, if you're splitting it down to this way in a traditional South Indian meal or even a North Indian meal, if you could just, break us, can you give us some, is it possible to actually share a day's diet, like quickly? If is that possible?
Yeah, I can do that. See,
Yeah,
on
please.
an
Yeah,
average, rough. Okay. So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if it is a non-vegetarian or those who can take eggs, please go and take eggs. take eggs and you can take some salads or something in the breakfast. So first meal is done for. And if it is, let us say, vegetarian, then you can little, depending upon, case to case, you can have a lot of pulses. You can have a lot of dishes prepared out of pulses itself. Let us say you can prepare dosa or idlis made up of sprouts, mung sprouts, maybe some pulses or dals you can make. It is higher in carb, but there is not much option. Okay, and then you can add some hunkered. So relatively it is lower in carb. When it comes to second meal, you again need to add some protein foods. You should have hunkered, some paneer you can have, and lot of vegetables. Maybe some grains you can add, it is okay. Small portion grains. And then at night exclusively, you should be low carb. You should depend upon high protein foods, like let us say paneer or something you can have. There are a lot of dishes which can be done. I know this doesn't suit the South Indians, because generally we don't have, but there is no
And
option but to shift. Maybe put some pulses again in the evening, add little cheeses throughout the day. So we have to
okay.
focus on protein foods, reduce the grain consumption is what we look forward.
Okay, so you're saying that even a lot of them are under this misconception that chapatis are something which you can have in the night and avoid rice, and that will sort the issue, because a lot of diabetics also eat ragi chapati in the night, and they eat ragi ball in the afternoon. So in as part of this diet, as part of low carb, Anup, can you just tell us, like, what is that workable? Is that good? Is that not allowed?
Chetna, I would answer it in a very simplistic manner. Whether you are having ragi, rice, roti, whatever, digestible carbohydrates are carbohydrates. Okay. And once it is digested, it is converted to sugar. Whether it is ragi, millet, jawar, anything. Now, to process that amount of glucose, body will need same amount of insulin. The whole idea of getting the carbs down is that your requirement for insulin comes down.
Okay.
Once that comes down, all your, obesity, diabetes numbers, hypertension, I mean, plethora of diseases or disorders, they start coming under control. Now, as far as talking of meal, as Shashi said, if you eat eggs, for example, my first meal is a large cup of coffee with 6 boiled eggs.
My next
Without fail.
question was coffee. I mean, I am a major
Okay.
coffee lover. So is it allowed, not allowed?
Allowed.
Yeah. I'm an addict. I'm an addict with 10 cups per day minimum. So as I said, first meal is 6 eggs for me, 5 to 6. Now on this diet, the beauty is you don't have to eat 6 times a day.
Okay.
So your kitchen workload comes down to maximum 2 meals. And if you have, roasted nuts and all, just one fistful, 1 cup of coffee. If you feel hungry, it's done.
Okay.
It's very simple. No hassles in kitchen. And if you're a non-vegetarian, like for me, I have turned into carnivore now since last 45 days. Eating only meat. Only. Keema hai, wo, matlab, night time I take keema with eggs, and morning I have 6 boiled eggs. Lunch, nothing. That's it.
Our
It's very
liver is
simple.
fine with this?
Oh, yes. I've been
Liver
having, I think,
gets okay. Liver heals.
I'll
Really?
tell you what, my SGPT was 49 when I was detected. Right? Right now it is in mid 20s or, higher 20s.
Okay. So what about our sambar? I mean, how much, like, there are a lot of people who actually eat sambar, and there are many studies which have come around sambar. So is sambar okay?
Sasi, sambar is okay. See, sambar, the amount of tuar dal which we put may not be great. See, traditionally sambar should have tuar dal. Tuar dal has little carbohydrate, but then now we put very less, and it is okay. You can have sambar as long as you don't use that jaggery or sugar in that. So
Okay.
I generally avoid sambar at restaurant here in Mumbai because they add jaggery or sugar. But traditionally in South we don't, and it's okay. You can have, go ahead and have.
So if we are adding vegetables, then what are the vegetables which you need to avoid?
All we can use all non-starchy above ground vegetables. It is only the starchy underground root vegetable which we need to avoid, like potato, yam, beet,
Okay.
all this kind of starchy stuff.
Okay. Okay. And most of us are sweet tooth, right? We do have sweet tooth. So in this low carb, is there any sweet allowed at all, or is it a complete no-no?
See, we have a lot of non-nutritive sweeteners which are available, like stevia, for example. Stevia is quite safe. There are available newer ones like monk fruit is now available in India. There are top end ones like allulose is not yet available. So I generally use stevia, and we make a lot of sweets with stevia. In fact, in dlife.in, there is a more than 1,000 recipes, unique Indian low carb recipes, and a lot of sweet dishes are also there. And
Okay.
personally, I make in my home, I make no sugar stevia based homemade chocolates. I
Okay.
make even Srikhand, which is nothing but hung curd with stevia added and some aromatic stuff put in. So everything is possible. I enjoy life. I don't miss anything.
Okay, that's nice to know. So since we have about 10 more minutes left, I have one thing to ask you both. Both of you have been the reason for this one most exciting India's first global metabolic health conference that is coming up on 27th, 28th, and 29th of October. So I think our viewers would love to know more about this, because that's where probably most of the answers on metabolic health as well as your low carb diet can get answered. So if you could just slowly take us towards that, and maybe we can start with Anoop. So Anoop, can you just tell us, what is this whole conference about, and how will India benefit out of it?
See, me and Shashi, we've been dreaming of this since 2017. In fact, he has been very enthusiastic about, somehow making it happen. But why it took so long, waiting for 6 years, that he will detail. But yes, as far as benefit to Indians are concerned, as you said, people don't believe a normal health coach, or they might not believe. In this conference, only doctors are there.
Okay.
Now, if the audience cannot believe doctors also, then God help them. Otherwise, the whole intention is that let the experts speak first. An expert in the sense they're all doctors, right? And subsequent conferences, yes, then we might have coaches and everybody coming in. And rest of the details, I think Shashi would be able to explain it better,
Yeah.
because he's basically leading from the front.
Yeah, Shashi, if you could just even throw some light on who are the, some of the speakers,
Yeah.
names of some of the speakers who are going to be part of this. Also, how do we register for this? Is it
Yeah, yeah.
free, paid? Please
Yeah,
let us.
so yeah, I'll come to this. So this was a dream from 2017, materializing now in 2023. And initially we thought of hosting maybe physical and all, but somehow that never took off. And then 2020 we realized the power of virtual connection. And during this time we realized that we can do this virtually. But what was also stumbling block was I was employed, and it was very difficult for me to get through all this. So finally, when I left my job, we decided that we will now do. And me and Anup, we have solid networking, and we have built up solid credibility for the last 8 years, especially in Twitter X, where all the top brains, top doctors are there. So we thought we'll organize this now virtually. And this event will, who will be coming and speaking? Will be doctors only and low carb associations the world over. So what good work they are doing in the field of low carb nutrition. So some of the top name, if you see, we have Professor Noakes coming in from South Africa. Everyone knows in the low carb world, we will know Noakes, and he runs Noakes Foundation as well as Nutrition Network. Again, a global educator. We have Dr. Eric Westman coming, who's known for 20 years of ketogenic diet. 20 years. We have Dr. David Unwin coming in from UK, a GP practicing in Norwood, and remarkable results on diabetes remission. He's a award-winning low carb GP. Not only these, but then there are a lot of other names which are coming, a lot of interesting names. And then the organizations, we have Nutrition Network South Africa, and then we have Diet Doctor, we have Hava coming in. So similarly, there are a lot of other organizations, maybe Metabolic Multiplier. And the concept of this is, let me explain, the name is low carb across the globe. I wanted to include maximum countries in this, and only doctors will come. So we have 15 countries participating in this. That is, we have 15 flags flying in this, and all these are all doctors. You will not believe, we may not thought there would be a doctor somewhere in Ethiopia. There will be a doctor practicing somewhere in Congo. So we gathered all of them. from the social media platform. They're all there practicing low carb to their patients.
And how
So
do we
it's such a beautiful
attend
event.
this?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is a online, I mean, like you said, it's a virtual one.
This is
So,
totally virtual. And I'm just coming to that. This is 12-hour massive session each day without a break. 12,
okay.
12, 12. So you can imagine 11 o'clock to 11 o'clock on 2 days, 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And in the social media, we have posted the registration link.
Okay.
So this event will be hosted in a dedicated platform by an event manager. People can register and go and see whichever particular session they want to see. Plus, this will be live streamed in YouTube channel also. So in YouTube channel, potentially millions can see, and the hosting platform can have as much as 5 to 10,000 also, depending upon how much registration happens. So
Okay.
we are on to it, and we'll see. And I invite not only people from India, but from globally. In fact, let me tell you, for registration, approximately 30% of the people who are registered are from global,
Okay, that's
from other countries. All small countries, people are registered. We are so
is
happy
it
to
is
see
it
that the
paid?
message is spreading.
Is it
It
a
is totally free of cost. We have decided that we should not charge people to know about therapeutic carbohydrate restriction. See, there is a lot of misconception in this country about low carb and keto. People feel it is not sustainable. It is dangerous. We are going to die of heart disease. We are going to die of kidney disease. We are going to die of brain stroke. You will all sort of nonsense you will hear in social media. But we have been doing this for many years, and there have been doctors who have been doing this for 20 years. Now people will know that. People will know the real science. You will have doctors coming and telling them that this is a safe option. Proteins are safe, red meat is safe, saturated fat like butter and ghee is safe, low carb is safe, high protein is safe. The objective is to inform public that they have an option in case they have a metabolic condition.
excellent? I
So we have
think
kept it free. Please make this viral, let people come and see.
thank you very much. I think we will be soon also posting the registration link on South First as well for people to join in and register. And I think it is going to be a wonderful conference from whatever you're telling me. And the lineup is amazing. I have seen the posters as well, and they're really, really good and quite interesting ones. And it was wonderful speaking to both of you. I'm sure we'll have multiple sessions, because one session I'm sure is not enough to know the diet and the low carb, more on low carb. Mr. Shashi, I mean, like Anoop said, he is not doing direct consultations, one-on-one consultations, but I understand Shashi does. So, is there any way to reach out to you, Shashi? Quickly, if you could tell us.
I think people can reach me out in social media, in Twitter X as Shashi Iyengar, in Instagram as Shashikant underscore Iyengar, or very easy to remember is go to my website. Website name is metabolichealthindia.com. So it's very easy to know. metabolichealthindia.com. They can go and they can find me there.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was really wonderful having both of you, Anoop and Shashi. Is there anything quickly you could tell us, Anoop? Quickly in 30 seconds, if there's anything, if you could tell me.
Yeah, that's all. I think we covered everything, almost everything.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Shashi, is there anything you want to add?
Thanks, Chetna. Thank you very much and for inviting us. And I think please see that the general public comes to know that this free event they can attend and they can gain more knowledge. Thank you.
Definitely we'll do that. Thank you very much. That is all we have for today. Thank you.